So the question now is, if you are serious enough to go into it, whether it is possible to empty totally the whole content of ourselves, the content of our consciousness. This consciousness which has been built through time. Is it not possible, just please listen to it, is it not possible to end one of the contents of your consciousness? Your hurt, your psychological wound. Surely you know what that means. Most of us psychologically have been hurt from childhood, parents, school, whole existence. We are hurt. That's part of your consciousness. Can you end that hurt completely, totally wipe it out, without leaving a mark? You can, can't you? If you pay attention to the wound, know what has caused it, and the wound is the image you have about yourself that has been wounded, and end that image that is wounded. You can do that if you've gone into it very, very deeply. Or if you're attached to somebody. If you're attached to your wife or your husband, it doesn't matter what it is, attached to a belief, to a country, to a sect, to a group of people and so on, to Jesus and so on. Can you not completely, logically, sanely, rationally end it? Because you see, attachment implies jealousy, anxiety, fear, pain, and having pain, you become more and more and more attached. Seeing the nature of attachment, the perception of attachment is the flowering of intelligence. That intelligence sounds stupid to be attached. It's finished. You understand this? So, go into it. Or you have a particular psychological habit, thinking always in certain direction. That's part of your consciousness. Can thought move away from the groove, from the rut? Of course it can. So it is possible, please listen, it is possible to empty totally, completely the content. Now if you do it one by one, that is, attachment, your hurts, your anxiety, and so on, it will take infinite time. See what is involved. If you do it one by one, it will take time. So you're caught in time again. I wonder if you see this. Whereas, is it possible to empty it without involving time instantly, as a whole, not parts? Now I'll show it to you. Don't shake your head or agree or disagree. You understand my question? When you do part by part, you are still involved in time. If you realize that, if you really see the truth of it, then you won't do it partially, right? Naturally. Then you move to a different question, which is, can it be done in its entirety? That is, can I look Is there an observation of this consciousness, which is not mine really? It's not my particular consciousness, it's the universal consciousness. My consciousness is like your consciousness, or somebody else's consciousness. Because we suffer, we go through agony, etc., etc. There may be few who have said, oh, they've flowered out, gone beyond. That's irrelevant. So we're asking, is it possible to observe the thing in its entirety, wholly, and in the very observation of that totality, the ending of it? You understand? So is it possible to observe your hurt or your anxiety or your guilt or whatever it is totally? You understand my question? Suppose I have guilt. I feel guilty, which I don't, but suppose I do. Can I look at that guilt with how it arose, what was the reason for it, and how I'm dreading further, and so on? The entire structure of guilt, can I observe it and wholly? Of course you can. No? You can observe it only wholly when you are aware of the nature of being hurt. You can be aware of it and the guilt and so on, all the various things that we have collected. You can be aware of it if there is no direction or motive involved in that awareness. Have you understood this? I'll explain, I'll go into it. Suppose I am attached to something or somebody. Can I not observe what is the consequences of attachment? What is involved in attachment? How that attachment arose? Can't I observe the whole nature of it instantly? I'm attached because I'm lonely. I want comfort. I want to depend on somebody because I can't stand by myself. I need companionship. I need somebody to tell me, you're doing very well, old boy. I need somebody to hold my hand. I'm depressed. I'm anxious. So I depend on somebody. And out of that dependence arises attachment. And from that attachment arises fear, jealousy, anxiety, right? Can't I observe the whole nature of it instantly? Of course you can, if you are aware, if you are deeply interested to find out. So we are saying that instead of doing it piecemeal by piecemeal, it is possible to see the whole nature and the structure and the movement of consciousness with all its content. The content makes up the consciousness, and to see it entirely is possible. And when you see the entirety of it, it disintegrates.